Mercedes had a first winless Formula One campaign since 2011 last season, and the team has worked tirelessly to fix the issues that hampered Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. And with the 2024 season fast approaching, the W15 must deliver, or it will always be branded as the car with which Hamilton said goodbye to Mercedes. So could the W15 be the North Star, a final winning gift that Brackley can give to the seven-time world champion, or are we in for another boring season, which would mean a sad ending to Hamilton's Mercedes career? Mercedes had faced challenges over recent seasons, but early indications from the simulator suggest that its W15 car could bring hope for improvement. The new livery, featuring a return to Mercedes' signature silver combined with black and silver elements from the previous season, also includes hints of Ineos red, and despite a lackluster performance in recent years, Mercedes' investment in a radical design approach didn't yield desired results, leading to a loss of faith in certain solutions like the Zero Pod concept in 2023. The team's decision to adopt a new direction for 2024 reflects a willingness to learn from past mistakes, and key areas of focus in developing the W15 include addressing issues like the unpredictable rear end, aiming to boost driver confidence on the track. A big focus has been on improving the previous car's unpredictable rear axle, explained technical director James Allison. We have worked hard to ensure that both axles, but particularly the rear axle, retain better control of the tyre than on the W14. There's also been some housekeeping on areas in which we had room for improvement, including the DRS effect and pit stop performance. Visually, the W15 is a very different contender. At the front, the pointy nose has been replaced with a flatter, wider solution that, if nothing else, appears to be a much more elegant solution. This blends into a front wing that appears to bear much in the way of complexity, with a series of curves and shapes that at least suggest that much in the way of development has emerged here. Like many other designs seen in launch seasons so far, the shorter nose frees up the central section for a spoon-shaped treatment, which can assist with both local downforce production and assisting the airflow underneath the nose. As is now standard, the wing sweeps downwards at the end plate to develop the outwashing effect desired by the aerodynamicists. The front suspension has also received attention, retaining a pushrod layout, but with each member redefined and repositioned to improve the front-end grip on offer. The front leg of the upper wishbone is positioned closely to the pushrod at their chassis mounting points, appearing to place airflow downwards and remove the need for the blister present in this area on the W14. The rear leg of that wishbone is positioned low down, another recent trend owing to its positive effect on the car's anti-dive properties, which benefits the floor performance. It appears that, from the most rudimentary of checks, the cockpit is positioned slightly further back, an area that should placate the Ferrari-bound Lewis Hamilton, who disliked the apparent feeling of driving the W15's predecessor on its wheels. But the bigger change flanks this as Mercedes has pressed on with its decision to defect to the downwashing side pods club. The leading edge of the inlet, like others, has been extruded into a protruding lip. However, there's a difference here compared to the prevailing trends. Mercedes has placed the leading edge lower down, which curves upwards into the inlet to capture airflow from perhaps lower down. This develops into a heavier undercut around the underside of the side pods, which exposes much more of the upper floor surface. While the upper surface of the diffuser in the W15 incorporates a slight channel, it diverges from the Aston Martin style water slide design, instead prioritizing airflow management to its top surface, and this results in a more compact rear end housing the pushrod, rear suspension springs and rockers, a design concept hinted at during Monday's AMR 2024 launch, indicating shared rear suspension components between the two teams. Additionally, the cannon-like flaring in the bodywork for cooling purposes lacks the defined channel treatment seen in the W15. However, the presence of bodywork seams suggests potential interchangeability based on circuit-specific heat rejection requirements. The rear wing design reveals emerging trends with exposed tips on the upper element. Mercedes has chosen to extend the front corners forward to seamlessly blend with the attachment points, while the squared-off top corners of the upper flap define the placement of generated vortices. In the development of last year's car, Mercedes began to grasp the demands of the 2022 spec regulations. Although improvements were made, the intense competition for best of the rest behind Red Bull highlighted that these enhancements didn't universally translate across all circuits. At times, Mercedes found itself clearly trailing, with instances where it significantly lagged behind its competitors. For instance, while a floor upgrade in Austin allowed Hamilton to apply more pressure on Verstappen, the car struggled in Brazil, venturing beyond its comfort zone. After time dealing with false optimism, Wolff has been more cautious in his assessment of the new car. Mercedes' desire to beat Red Bull remains strong, but he's aware that overcoming the team's disadvantage to the championship winners would take more than simple belief. He is optimistic about the prospects for the new car, citing a buzz in the Mercedes camp, but he acknowledged that it won't be easy to take on the team that has dominated the last 2 seasons. On one hand, you need to be realistic about the odds of beating a team that is a fair chunk ahead under these regulations and who got things right over the last 2 seasons, whilst we have not, he said. There are no miracles in the sport. On the other hand, our ambition is strong. It is Red Bull and a very successful car that are the benchmark we are aiming to beat. I do not know when that will happen. We do not have any crystal ball, but we will know soon enough how far ahead they are and the task in front of us. Watching the W15 launch this week, one couldn't help but wonder how Toto Wolff and the team didn't mention anything about winning or even striving for the championship, but rather the goal for the team this season is just to consolidate their position towards Ferrari, McLaren and even Aston Martin. This shows that the Silver Arrows will simply look to keep their P2 spot in the constructors' standings this season, as it does look like Hamilton would not get the chance at a title, which is expected after the announcement that he will leave Mercedes. As Hamilton approaches the end of his tenure with Mercedes this year and will wear Ferrari's iconic red attire in the near future, the team is naturally shifting its focus towards future strategies. A significant part of this planning will centre around Russell, and now entering his 3rd season with Mercedes, Russell has solidified his reputation as one of the fastest drivers in the competition. His performance has closely matched Hamilton's in qualifying over their 2 seasons together, and he expressed satisfaction at the conclusion of last year, feeling more poised than ever both on and off the track. Mercedes is in zero rush to decide who that second driver will be, nor does it need to be. It holds the key to the driver market and has time on its side, particularly as it gives thought to 17-year-old protege Andrea Kimi Antonelli's future through his rookie Formula 2 season. That means in the coming weeks and months, it can focus on getting the W15 car in a good place instead of being distracted by silly season shifts in the driver market. Given the importance of 2026, when F1's car design rules will be overhauled once again, this season realistically marks Mercedes' final chance under these regulations, and importantly, its final chance with Hamilton to get things right. If Mercedes can reclaim its race-winning form and begin to push Red Bull once again, a tantalizing season beckons. But Ferrari, Aston Martin and McLaren will also be knocking on the door, so it has to ensure that when the development curve starts to bear fruit, the W15 needs to be something special. So what do you think? Will Mercedes do something special this year, or will we see another average Silver Arrows run in 2024? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see you very soon in the next video.